Hello, everyone. Welcome to this impromptu Facebook Live. I felt it on my heart today that I wanted to come on and just share value and provide this training with you to help you create passive income for your business. So, I'm going to be talking about some of these different concepts that were actually recently channeled through me. And I want to share a really powerful story and something that actually inspired me to come on live today and to give value back to the community here. So if you're just joining, hello, let me know that you're here. If you go to the top of this broadcast and click on that link, let me know who you are by clicking on the link and then granting Ecamm Live access to be able to see your name. So give me some comments. Let me know who's here with me. Again, I'm just coming on to provide value, to circulate wealth, which you're going to learn about today, to be able to then receive abundantly in return. So what I want to talk about today is, you know me, I'm always going to the energetic, but also the practical things that you can do to scale your profitable business. So what we're going to dive into first is really around this idea of circulating your wealth, circulating your knowledge, your gifts, your love into the world. And in doing that, so if you look at this little graph here, because you know I can't draw, but I drew a graph to kind of illustrate and show you that when you circulate and you pour out into your community and you give from this pure space, then you give to your audience and you naturally receive back in expected and unexpected ways. So I want you to really sit with that and feel into that with me now. That when you circulate wealth, right? We're not talking about money. Money has a lot of programming, a lot of stories, a lot of the old ways in which we relate to money. I want to shift you away from that conversation into the frequency of wealth. So wealth is something that you tune to in my definition of it. And so when you start circulating your wealth, your knowledge, your gifts, your brilliance out into the world, you will receive abundantly for it in return. So I want to tell you a quick story that inspired me to come on today. And it's something that I know is going to help kind of really bring down some of these more esoteric concepts into reality. So I've been doing a lot with this launch and a lot of just, giving back to the community and investing in having a video editor for my YouTube video that I just put out about passive income strategies. And all of that costs money, right? But I know in my mind, in my heart, that I want to be circulating that wealth, that value to give back to our community. And so something really interesting happened to me today where I had a couple people ask about my Invisalign. So I was like, oh yeah, like Rhodes Orthodontics, it's, where I go. I love, they're really friendly there, yada, yada. Well, then I get a card from them in the mail, and it's a card that says like, thank you so much for being such a great patient. I really, we so appreciate you. And it got my mind, something dropped into my intuition. And I was like, I want to call them and see if they do some kind of referral program, which is what we're going to be going through today. That I'm going to show you, you can capture and open your mind of these are different ways that I can start to open up money channels for my business to increase my income. So I called them and I said, I called my orthodontic office where I got my Invisalign, and I said, hey, I've been getting a lot of people who have been asking about Invisalign, and I was just curious, do you have a referral program where if I refer a certain number of people to you, that you'll give me some kind of affiliate bonus? And the girl went in and asked, and she came back on the phone. She's like, yeah, well, if you're an influencer, we can give you $1,000. And I was like, okay, yep, we're doing that. So all I had to do was, share a little bit about my journey about it, getting Invisalign, because people are already asking me questions, and I'm going to get $1,000 check next month. So I want to open your awareness to how there are so many different ways that you can earn money in your business. And it's not in the ways that you might think. And so doing this energetic work of really paying attention to the little signs and synchronicities that come along the way is going to open your mind to these innovative and creative ways that you can start to bring in passive income. So this is what prompted me to come on today and to just share, authentically and openly about some of the ways that I create passive income for myself, referral networks and partnerships being one of them. So again, if you think that you can only get money from certain channels of your business, then you're going to be really limited with what you can create. And when you tap into the quantum field of infinite possibilities for your life, when you move out of this 3D money programming of, oh, I need to work really hard, I need to just, hustle and strive and all of this, and you open up to the field of infinite possibilities for how wealth can flow in, little things like this start happening. So literally, I posted a video on Instagram and I got $1,000. So again, it's allowed to be easier, and this is proof of why doing this work is so important, because we think that it has to be this arduous process of, hustling and striving and doing all these things. But when you tap into some of these energetic practices of being able to connect to the quantum field, moving into your heart, giving value, circulating wealth to your clients and to your audience, it naturally comes back to you. But you have to be open to the different ways that that's going to show up. So I'm going to go through this. I also have a YouTube video that I'm putting out. I'm actually putting out a different version of it tonight, because the music was a little bit distracting to me during the video. So my editor is going to be posting that tonight. But highly, highly recommend that. I'm going to be going through similar concepts here, but going even deeper. So in that video, I talked about 5 different buckets of ways that you can create passive and active income streams for your business. Now, of course, we always think about the active income stream, meaning you're creating a program, you're creating a package of sessions, you're actually doing something where you're facilitating a transformation with someone. Hello, if you're just joining, I see some people joining here with me. I'm talking about passive and active income streams for your business. And watch the replay, because there was a really cool story that I just shared in the beginning. And so active income streams, this is kind of the first pillar here that I want to talk about. This is what we typically think of with, I'm creating a program, I'm creating an e-course, I'm walking someone through a transformation, and I'm helping them to achieve a certain result. Now, that requires effort, right, on your part. So the active income stream, if you're pricing based upon the potency of the transformation you're providing, the number of sessions, however you're pricing, it's typically going to be a higher price point than something that's just like a click to buy. Here's an easy e-course that shows you step-by-step how to build a business, whatever that is. So depending on your offerings, it's going to fall into different categories here. So the first thing that we're talking about is active income streams. So programs, memberships, courses where you are teaching someone, right? It's not like you are just, filming videos and then selling it. You're actually getting on calls with people on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, whatever that is. So this is what I mean when I'm talking about active income streams, where you're actively putting in effort into this energetic relationship, this practical container, whatever that looks like. Then what we're going to move into is I put PIP. It's a passive income product. So things like memberships, e-courses, PDFs, meditation bundles. I've done all of these. So if you go on my website and check that out, you can see all the different passive income products that I've made. The whole idea behind passive income products is that you do it once, you create it once, like an ebook as an example, or a physical book, right? I'm going to step over here and not trip on myself and show you my book, right? So I do this once, I create this once, but I duplicate myself over and over and over again, right? So then you spend the energy on that one thing, but then it keeps paying dividends over time. So one of the ways that I continuously am selling is that I use things like technology and videos to be able to, if somebody Googles something about how to create passive income streams, they're going to come across this video and they'll see all of the different links that I have, and they might buy a product, right? So you can use technology to your advantage to always be selling for you, right? Because people are always looking for information. They're Googling things. They're looking for videos, tutorials, all of those things. So you can make these passive income products, right? Bullet point 2, and create that for yourself and create it for your business. So what I would think about, something that you can think about for, all right, like what kind of content should I be creating, or what type of passive income product? Think about all of the different things that all of your knowledge, all of your skills, the training, certifications, all of the things that you have already done. And what is it that your ideal client doesn't know how to do yet? So you might be thinking about, say that you work with patients who are diabetic, right? You might be thinking, okay, well, what do they need to know to balance their blood sugar? What are the 4 or 5 things that they're going to need to know about in order to get to that transformation, right? So thinking about from the bigger vision of what is the transformation? What are the 4 or 5 things that I can teach them? And then what are they going to leave this program with? So when you're really crystal clear about that, it's going to help you to be able to sell this, right? So like if you go on any of my passive income products, any of my, ebooks or whatever, I have, this will help you achieve this. So if you have a clear outcome, like my Monetize Your Magic, it's going to help you to, sustainably launch a profitable healing business. So you always have that end outcome. What are they going to get by doing this, right? By purchasing this passive income product. Then I want to move to referrals and your sphere of influence networking. So your referrals can be, say that you create a referral program. Kajabi has a really good way to do this, where you can track all your referrals and, you're able to see, okay, Katie referred somebody to me, right? So you can pay people a certain percentage to, say that they went through one of your programs, they can refer people to you and you come up with a certain percentage that you'd like to gift them, right? As a result of you not having to go and market and spend money on advertising to acquire that client. So highly, highly recommend creating, if you do not have a referral or affiliate network or a way to track that, highly recommend you doing that for your business, because it's going to allow you to have a lot more, it's going to be easier for you essentially, right? If you treat your customers really well, and again, circulating your wealth, circulating your knowledge, giving them little gifts, adding value to their life, giving free trainings like this, then people are going to be really excited to share about you, right? And so when you create that win-win situation with a referral network or a referral partnership, then your job gets to be easier, because your client is out there, helping to enroll other people and be like, yeah, Christina's program is so great, right? And then you're giving them a referral bonus. So think about that. Who in your network could you partner with? Could you create something for your clients where you're saying, hey, for every client that you refer me, I will give you 10, 20, 30%. And I know a lot of you, have done that in the past, which is really helpful. So moving on from referral networks to your sphere of influence, this is what I use today, right? So indirectly, I guess it's more of a referral partnership. But what I did was I thought outside the box. I said, okay, I'm getting a lot of people asking about Invisalign. I'm going to call my orthodontist and see if they want to do a referral partnership with me, right? And they did. They said, yep, we're going to pay you $1,000 to go ahead and post on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you want to post. Done deal. Simple, right? So again, it's allowed to be a lot easier than we make it, but we need to be thinking outside the box, tapping into all of these different potentials that exist in your world, but you're not seeing it yet. So this is part of helping to expand your wealth capacity, right? If you think that you can only earn from a certain amount of infinite resources and you're in lack and scarcity, and you think that there's only a certain amount of resources out there and, oh, it's a bad economy and you're operating from fear, you're only going to see a finite amount of resources. But when you open up and you elevate your energy into these higher levels of awareness, and in Pristine, we're going to be going through depths of this, right? Elevating your energy, expanding your capacity for wealth, and also looking at a lot of these different strategies and how to communicate your brilliance in a very concise, crystal clear way so that your clients are dropping in for you. that's where you start to get a lot of this momentum and you're able to quickly scale your business to 6 figures and beyond. This is how I've done this. So I'm showing you step by step. These are some of the ways that you can start to really expand your definition of, expand really your wealth capacity. So looking at your sphere of influence, this is something I want you to picture, like a sphere, right? So you have people that maybe have a little bit of overlap with you. So this is you, right? And then this is like, I'm trying to think of other people like Trish, right? Trish F. So she's in my sphere of influence, right? Because she is somebody who kind of does something similar to what I do and could potentially refer clients or, vice versa. And so that's part of a partnership you could create, right? Who in your network could refer you clients or vice versa, and do it from a place of integrity, right? Integrity, intention, and love, because it does matter, right? You have to make sure that, you're disclosing that this is an affiliate agreement. You're making sure that it feels aligned and like a win-win situation for both parties. So all of those things are really nuanced, but ultimately you can create these partnerships with people so that you are, again, circulating wealth, giving them, circulating your knowledge to maybe their audience. You're doing a Facebook Live, you're helping them, you're doing these different things that you're pouring into other people. And guess what happens? Your audience, your sphere of influence, your referrals, it's going to come back to you in expected and unexpected ways. So this is the potency of really looking at the energetics of what lens are you seeing your business in. Lack and scarcity. Are you, tired into this, all these old stories of there's only an infinite number of possibilities for my business and how I can make money? Or are you tapping into the limitless ways that money can flow to you, that wealth can flow to you? But again, this starts from you. And I find too, when you come from a pure space, from a pure heart, and you put a desire out and you say, I want to help somebody, I want to circulate wealth, I want to do something just because there's a pure desire to do it, it will come back to you in a way that you wouldn't expect. Just like what happened to me today. So again, I got $1,000 for showing up and doing one little video. So I want to hear from you. Comment in the video below. What new ways are you going to start to circulate wealth to your people, to your audience? Is it going to be doing a giveaway, a Facebook Live? Is it going to be sending handwritten cards to them? There are so many different ways that you can start to pour into your community. I'll just list out a couple things that I've been doing. So I've been resharing people's posts. Like Marina did a Facebook Live or a LinkedIn Live the other day. I shared her post. I'm getting into other people's worlds and thinking, how can I help them? How can I help that person grow without any attachment, right? I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to send that person something. I'm going to send you a book. I'm going to, help you, support you, cheer you on. There are those little micro steps that you can do to build relationships, because everything happens through relationships, right? And again, when you think back to this is you circulating that love, that pure love for, I want to support you, right? To your audience, to your influence, your sphere of influence network, to your referrals, it will come back to you. So I want to hear from you. What was your favorite point? And did you like my story? I want to hear that too in the comments. Really excited for that. And just so many other things that naturally come from circulating your love, your knowledge, your gifts into the world. It will come back to you, I promise. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this training. Give me some love. Let me know what your favorite part was, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.